Being able to read Keepa style graphs for your Amazon FBA business is vital if you want to be a successful seller. They can show us many things which aren't clear on the surface and some things which may actually stop us from buying an FBA deal. So they're very, very important to understand how to read them. So in today's video, we're going to be showing you the right way to actually do this. So welcome back to the Profitl YouTube channel. Please hit that subscribe button. Amazon FBA videos every single Thursday. So who are Profitl? Well, we're an Amazon FBA software and we're here to teach you all about the wonderful world of Amazon FBA and trying to help prevent you making a mistake which many new sellers make. And today we're specifically talking about Keepa style graphs. If you don't know what a Keepa graph is, you probably had your head in the sand, but this is basically a price history graph and typically all softwares have them. Keepa are the most well-known ones and it just helps us understand the history of a product, and it's why it's so important to use before investing in any Amazon FBA deal. So today I'm going to be showing you how to read them on a few live Amazon FBA deals, show you the things we should be looking out for. So let's get into some products. So all of these products I'm showing you today, totally blind. I haven't checked out any of the graphs beforehand. So I'm just going to show you some of the things I would be looking at before investing in any FBA deal when it comes to the graphs. So first product we have is from Ocado, and it's this Cleanse Makeup Cleansing Milk, which we can buy for £2.66. It sells on Amazon for £7.45. Now I won't go into too much detail about the other things we look at when analysing an FBA deal, but of course the first thing we're always checking is it selling for more than we can buy it for? So that's great. So this one's making a 68% return on investment. So to look at the graphs, we just come down on the Profitl Chrome extension and we click load price graph, and this is going to load up all the historic data for this product. Now currently it's set on 90 days. I'm going to take this back to 180 days, and some people may want to take this back even further. Realistically, there's three main things we're looking at when it comes to reading a graph. First is the price and comparing it against the sellers and what price they're selling it for. Then we've got the sales rank, and then we've got the offer history. So I'll go through each one of these one by one. Price history and sales rank are closely linked. Sales rank means how popular an item is. The lower the sales rank, the more it's selling. So first thing I'm going to do on the price history is just turn off FBM, used and warehouse, just because we're not really interested in that, to be honest. Next, I just want to see if Amazon have been previously selling on this listing. It doesn't look like they have been, so that's a good sign. Amazon, you can compete against, it is very difficult. And that's why you want to be checking these graphs just to see if Amazon have been competing and if they've ever been on a buy box and if they actually share the buy box. But the main thing we're looking for on the price graph, just have a look to see how stable the price is. So currently we can see this is selling on Amazon for £7.45. And to be honest, it looks generally like a pretty stable price. Over the last 180 days, it had been around £7.45, except for about a 2-month period here where it did actually come down to £6.05. Now the important thing to look at here is if it did drop back down to this price, would we still be making a profit? So we'll just change the price here to 6.05, and it drops us down to a 20% return on investment. So it does take us under our threshold for 30% return on investment, but it was for only a very short amount of time. Let's just switch it back to an even longer period now. And again, we can see it's a fairly stable price. So we don't think there's too much risk of this price coming down. Now, interestingly, with changes to a year price graph now, we can see Amazon were previously selling on this listing last September. So what does that actually mean for us? Well, it means Amazon may come back onto this listing. Realistically, they will. There's no reason for them not to. So it's just something to bear in mind. But on a positive, we've not been on this listing since last September. So it has been quite a while. So there's no guarantee they will do, but it's just something you need to bear in mind. Now, the next thing we're looking at is the sales rank graph. And as mentioned before, this is important because it indicates sales. And the way we look at this is that drops typically indicate sales. Now, that's not an exact science, but if you see lots of movement in a line, it means it's definitely selling. So when it's like here, we can see it was selling for way less, and that's probably because it ties in with the price being a lot more. So you'll see the lower the price, the more it sells. So when you see a drop down here, the chances are that was a sale. It comes back up and then it's made a sale. Now when it's down here, when it's a bit more wiggly, that's because it's selling a lot more often. So we can see on Profitl it says it's selling 36 times a month. So that looks about right to us. So we confirm it is definitely selling. Now the third graph we always like to look at is the offer history graph. And the reason why this is important is because it's something called an IP risk or an IP complaint. That means an intellectual property complaint. And what it is, it's where a seller has reported you for selling on their listing without permission. And you get a lot of rogue listings on Amazon which are listed under a brand, but the brand is actually totally different. The seller who owns the trademark for the brand, they've got it registered, will be able to kick all sellers off a listing, and it's not going to be good for your Amazon account. The way we usually spot this is if there's a time where there's like 5 sellers up here and all of a sudden them 5 sellers disappear, that means for chances are there's been an IP report for all them sellers, which means they're no longer actively selling that listing. So this is something you want to be really careful, because it can do some serious damage on your Amazon account. So if you do see a time where there's loads of sellers and within the space of a day all them sellers are gone, the chances are someone's reported it for IP. Now there's no reason to say everyone didn't sell out. It's very unlikely. Usually the sellers go up and down like this, so it's a gradual process rather than everybody coming off at once. So to summarize the graphs on this product before we get into the next one, it doesn't look too bad overall. Price looks pretty stable. Maybe a slight concern the fact that Amazon have sold this listing on the past, saying that they hadn't been cheaper than £9.16. Sales look good based on the sales rank, and it doesn't look like there's any issues with IP on this product. Now, before we get into showing you another price graph and what we're looking for, we did just want to let you know about an exclusive discount code for our YouTube viewers if you were interested in joining Profitl. So Profitl is a deal analyzer, like you saw our Chrome extension, but we also have a mobile app, a wholesale scanner, a DealFinder where we help you find online arbitrage deals, an amazing Discord community, and there's so much to Profitl. We'll make the discount codes pop up just here. That's going to save you either 20% on monthly plans or 5% on yearly plans, and yearly plans already have over 50% off. So make sure to take that down if you did want to save some money on your Profitl subscription. Now moving on to the next product, and this one's from Home Bargain. So it's this Cats versus Pickles mystery plush. So it's £1.49. This one's slightly different because it's a pack of 2. So we'd actually be buying these as packs of 2, combining them into our unit cost is going to be about £3. So we'll load it up on the Profitl Chrome extension. Now straight away we can see this one's not a crazy return on investment, so we probably would leave this one anyway. But I'll just show you the things we're looking for on a price graph again, just so you can get a well-rounded view of how to actually use these. So we'll click load price graph. We'll go over the last year, and to be honest we don't have too much history on this because it looks like it's a newer item. When the item was listed it was being sold for about £13, but as you can see more sellers are coming on this listing. We're up to 12 FBA now and the price is driving right down, and it doesn't look like stopping, to be honest. That does tie in with the sales rank. We can see obviously the sales are picking up massively compared to what they were, but this trend downwards is never a good sign. Personally I would leave items like this. You want to wait to see if the price does stabilize, and when an item is this new you can't really get a good understanding of a product. Now we have one more product to show you the price graph for, and this is another one from Home Bargain. So this one is this Marvel water blaster. We can buy this one for £6.99. It sells on Amazon for £17.95, so 66% return on investment, 140 sales a month, so really decent sales. It is a lot of FBA sellers, but let's have a look at the price graph to see what they're saying. So we'll go over the last year again. We'll turn off FBM, used and warehouse, and we'll just have a quick look, see if Amazon's been on this listing. Doesn't look like they have been. That's a good sign, and this ties in quite nicely with what I was talking about on the last product with the drive down. So you can see this is exactly what it did on this one. So before it was selling for well over £20, £22, and then it just started to drive right down, and the price came to low as about £13.50, and then it sort of come up again, and it sort of hovered around the £15 mark. Now if we were selling this for £15, let's have a look, see what our profit would be. £15, we'd still be making 30% return on investment, so £2.11 profit per unit. Obviously the price has come back up now, but if a price has been cheaper before, then there's always the chance it's going to come back down. Most of the time it does, and that's why it's so important to read these price graphs just to see what the price has been doing. The interesting one about this one is it's obviously quite a seasonal product, so this is where the sales rank is helpful. Last summer you can see that it was selling really well with a low sales rank. As we're heading into winter, the sales are going to drop. Of course, who wants a water gun in the winter? And now we're coming back into summer again. You can see the sales rank coming back down, so it's a great time to be buying it. So that's a really positive sign. Now on to the third thing we're looking for, and of course it's the offer history. We can see that this is quite a popular item. So that's the only thing putting us off this one. Look how many sellers last July. There was 58 sellers on this listing. So that's a lot of people to be sharing the buy box. Doesn't look like there's any risk of IP. Obviously, as summer's ended, all the sellers have slowly been dropping off as they sell out. But what we can see now is a spike. So we're up to 17 FBA sellers. And I do think this is going to carry on upwards. So ones like this, unless you've got a crazy profit margin where you can sell for a lot cheaper than the people you're competing against, you do need to be very careful because you don't want to be stuck with stock in Amazon's warehouse which isn't selling just because you can never get on the buy box. So there we have it. That's how we read Keepa style graphs for your Amazon FBA business. We hope you found that interesting and helpful. If you did take any value from this video, please do hit that subscribe button. It really does help our channel. But that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.